Hey there, good morning. I'm Patty Santos, welcoming back San Antonio ISD students. We are at Lanier High School this morning. We're going to tell you about the new programs and the renovations students are going to be walking into.
And put the phones away all day. Northside ISD changing more than just classroom rules. This morning, how students, parents, and teachers are adjusting.
But first, we got the trial of Derek Coles revealing gruesome new details, information about his son's death. What prosecutors are saying really happened, and the next move in his wife's case.
Live from KSAT 12, Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Oh, the phone thing for sure is going to take some getting used to. I mean, I know. Don't take it away.
That's how the kids are going to react to it.
I know that they are. And I've got two of them at home. I'm just saying for the kiddos. I'm sorry. I got a little emotional there. I think I have a problem, but I'll address that later.
That's why these districts are doing what they're doing to get us to focus.
Dramatization, right?
No, listen, I don't envy them at all.
It's the whole do as I say, not as I do.
Right.
Parental argument. I'm like, put your phone up as I'm texting.
Right,
Yes, exactly. Hold on. We'll get to that in a minute.
Either way, guys, thanks so much for watching us this morning. As you can see, we are touched and tied to our phones, but we got a lot of stories over there just kind of hitting on why it's necessary to put the phones away in the classrooms. The debate's going to continue moving forward.
But if you're watching us on your phone right now, don't put it away.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Don't do that.
And
You're not in a classroom.
And I just sent out a push alert about the forecast today. So go ahead and read that. Then put your phone up. Okay, let's go outside for you. And we've got a few clouds out there at the moment. We can see those in the distance. And temperatures are really warm this morning. 81 degrees here in San Antonio. Feels like 86. 77 in New Braunfels. 81 Converse. Feels like 84. Temperatures are really struggling to even get below 80 this morning, which is pretty impressive. That has to do with the humidity and just how warm it was yesterday. We got up to 101 yesterday. So I don't think we quite get there today, but we will have another day with very hot temperatures, 98. 30% chance of rain, so the radar will look a bit like yesterday, too, with some of these downpours popping up during the heating of the day. And maybe you get some rain where you are if you didn't get any rain yesterday. Okay, now we got to talk about what potentially could unfold in the Gulf. And we've got a little swirl, a little wave that's crossing the Yucatan this morning. Hurricane Center has now flagged this, but they only give it a 20% chance of development. And I pretty much agree with that because there's not a lot of real estate left. This thing's moving pretty quickly. The good news here is that it likely does bring us some slightly better rain chances as we get into at least the first half of the weekend. We'll show you that forecast coming up, but we talk traffic now. RJ's got the latest on what you can expect if you're heading out the door right now.
All right. Thank you very much for that, Justin. And 6 o'clock hour as we get all of our folks, SAISD. And I'm reminded with Patty's live shot, the Lanier Vokes, one of my favorite mascots here across the San Antonio area. 281 Thousand Oaks traffic is looking pretty good out here for our drivers on the north side of town. So let's give you an update on what is going on over here at I-10 at West Avenue. So we do have our accident icon now on our maps indicating that we are seeing a potential incident right here, but our camera there looks like that may have been cleared out. So again, a lot going on. There's also ongoing construction taking place right here at Hildebrand, Fresno area, West Avenue, of course, over by Woodlawn Lake. And good morning again to all of our folks in that one particular spot. Something else that Patty kind of reminded me about is that we have ongoing construction taking place here, 35 right here at South Laredo Street, all the way up to Alamo Street. So headed out to Burbank High School later on today. Going to be running into a little bit of those construction delays. How about this one spot here? This is going to be 151. All of our traffic coming eastbound right now, right before you get to Highway 90. And our cameras right there at Military Drive indicating that we do have, for the most part, traffic moving along, but we'll keep an eye on that situation. Of course, keeping an eye on the situation right here. 35 Topper Wine Road. Traffic is moving along in both directions, north and southbound on the northeast side. All right, let's check things out in Drive Cam. Alex Gomez for us. And it looked like earlier he was stuck in a little bit of traffic. Alex, what's up?
RJ, good morning and happy hump day. Check out the west side. This is that slowdown because of construction on 151 eastbound, and we only have one lane open. It's in between Old Historic Highway 90 and Penn Road. So again, only one lane open. That's why we're seeing this slowdown right here. I'd give yourself about 10 to 15 minutes to your commute if you're on the main lanes. If you're on the access road, it's going to be much faster. That's your best alternate route right now, RJ.
Okay, good information there, Alex, for all of our folks headed down 151 on this Wednesday morning. Ernie, back to you.
All right, 6:03 now. The trial continues for Derek Coles, a man accused of beating his son so badly that he died. His son, Danilo Coles, died back in February 2022. Prosecutors told the jury that the suspect and his wife, Capri Cheatham, repeatedly abused the 12-year-old with extension cords, burning him and making him hold heavy items over his head for hours.
They pushed and they pushed and they pushed, trying to break Daniel's attitude, break his spirit. The body broke first.
If Derek Coles is convicted, he's facing life in prison. The trial date for his co-defendant, again, who is his wife, Capri Cheatham, has yet to be set.
In court today, we got 15 suspects accused of being involved in a state-led vote harvesting scheme. 6 of the suspects, including the Frio County judge and Pearsall Council members, were arrested in May. Now, the other 9, including a former candidate for San Antonio mayor and former Bexar County Democratic chair, were indicted in early July. Most have been charged with vote harvesting, which is a third-degree felony in Texas.
Well, new this morning, Northside ISD's Board of Trustees approved a new policy banning all communication devices from when the first bell rings until the school day is over. Superintendent Dr. John Kraft says the district will follow the new Texas law as it is written. The law prohibits phones the entire school day, which includes lunch. Kraft says that students may bring a phone to school, but it has to stay in their backpack. And teachers will be asked to keep students' backpacks in a designated area in the classroom. If a student does not bring a bag, they will still have to leave their phone in that area. Next week, San Antonio ISD will discuss its own cell phone policy.
Okay, now to Kerrville ISD, where they are starting a new school year this morning after a summer of loss and devastation in the Hill Country. The district has more than 4,600 students returning today. Many of those families, though, still reeling from the July 4th floods, but there is also resiliency and strength along the community. That's the message this morning from Kerrville ISD Superintendent Dr. Brent Ringo. I spoke with him about the new school year. He says that teachers and staff are ready to get these kids back in class and connect with them. Dr. Ringo said in an effort to help their students, therapy dogs will be on every Kerrville ISD campus this morning, and crisis counselors are available all year. But he said that ultimately, it's all about making sure the students know that they are not alone.
What we're seeing from the students is resiliency. They are returning, coming together, being there for each other. We want students to know, hey, as you come back to school, everything's taken care of, and take that burden off the families, because that personal tragedy everybody's feeling and sensing, and how far that extends, is still not known completely across this district.
Now, Dr. Ringo said that the outpouring of support has been absolutely overwhelming. Part of that is all Kerrville ISD students receive free backpacks and their school supplies for the entire school year. Again, all for free. And again, class starts later today for Kerrville ISD. Guys, back to you.
All right, thanks so much, RJ. Well, San Antonio ISD students and parents, it is time to get up because you got to get ready for that new school year. Right now, the school bus drivers warming up their engines, ready to hit the road.
Indeed, so here it is on the map. Our Patty Santos is live at Lanier High School just west of downtown, visiting with the morning crews, getting ready for those kiddos. Patty, good morning to you.
Hey there, good morning, guys. And, over 1,000 students are going to be walking in through the doors. We are joined by the principal, who's going to be welcoming them with a big smile. Principal Flores, talk to me about what's new for your school this year.
Wow, well, first of all, good morning, and thank you for joining us. We have so much new here at the high school. First of all, I want to just share that one of the new programs that we have as part of our CTE is on the medical side.
Yeah,
so
and I want to show them over here on this side. It is right next door. Talk to me a little bit about this.
Absolutely. So we're super excited to offer this program to our kids. Career and technology is really important here at the high school, as is our P-Tech programs. But this give our students the opportunity for them to also earn their certification. So when they graduate, we want to ensure that we keep the focus on college, career, and military readiness for all of our students.
And some of the other things that they're going to notice when they walk in is some improvements to the campus as a whole. Right behind us is the auditorium, which we haven't gotten a sneak peek yet, but you're telling me it looks amazing.
Absolutely. That auditorium is newly renovated as a result of Bond 2020. We're super excited to share that with our students and community as soon as this upcoming week. And the capacity is 777 seating capacity. Beautiful staging, beautiful lighting. Our kids deserve this. Our community deserves this. So I want to say thank you to our community for Bond 2020. And also we have our brand new renovated library that's ready to go for our students today.
So many exciting things to see. And with this being one of the oldest and the largest school districts, of course, there's a lot of people that have graduated from here, including yourself.
Yes, sir.
And coming up in the next hour, we're going to talk to a teacher who's starting her first year here at Lanier, who also graduated from SAISD. We'll send it back to you guys.
Great work out there, Patty. Coming up now with a couple of morning headlines for you here. The Texas Senate has passed a GOP-led redistricting bill that could give Republicans up to 5 more House seats. But without enough members present in the House, the bill can't actually move forward. 9 Democratic senators walked out, calling the process corrupt. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick blasted them for taking a, quote, vacation, while Governor Abbott says he'll keep calling special sessions until Republican priorities pass. If Democrats don't return by Friday, this session will end and a new one will begin immediately. Yesterday afternoon, emergency crews rushed to a train derailment in Palo Pinto County, just west of Fort Worth. There were 35 train cars involved carrying some hazardous materials, but thankfully so far no leaks have been reported. Video from the scene shows several cars piled up with that smoke rising through the air. Heavy stuff out there.
Right outside with live cam, it is 6:10, 81 degrees. We're going to take a look at yesterday's high temperatures, which included another triple-digit day here in San Antonio, so we're adding to the list. And we may have some activity in the Gulf. We'll show you what that means for our forecast this weekend. Coming up.
Alrighty, caught on camera, a 20-second heist. 2 armed thieves hit an armored truck, getting away with hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash. Why police think this was part of a bigger crime spree.
Artificial intelligence is so helpful for both the teachers and students in the classrooms, but with the benefits comes that possible temptation to abuse it. Coming up on GMSA, we talk about ways to use AI ethically in education.
That is a great idea.
Well, if you're a student going into the new school year, you'll know the word plagiarism, something you want to stay away from. That's presenting someone else's work or ideas as your own. Now, something teachers are having to adapt to more and more is that AI is in the mix of today's education. And last hour, we talked about the improper use of artificial intelligence as we go into this new school year, which again can lead to some serious consequences like failing grades or expulsions. But one San Antonio ISD history teacher who has seen it all is now educating his students on how to use AI ethically. How have you been able to use AI?
Students with ADHD, learning disabilities, bilinguals, it's really hard to create specialized resources for these students who require that extra boost. So with AI, I'm able to take their data, throw it into an AI chat, analyze their shortcomings, and come up with a tailored plan for them.
Teaching your students how to use AI ethically. What do you mean by that?
If we were to show it from the jump, we would curb the students using it in this like sort of generative way and more as a mentor and a peer, as a tutor. AP scores are historically low. I had my highest numbers this year because I had a whole day where I taught them how to use ChatGPT as a tutor. Having it propose multiple choice questions, create extra supplemental questions for study, prompting it why, how, the big questions, who, what, when, where, why. You ask it how to start. But if you just ask it, hey, what is 2 + 2? There's no cognitive processing, there's no work behind it, you're receiving.
So it can be tempting if you got a hard assignment. It's easy, you put the answer right there, you have it at your fingertips, but how much more beneficial is it that they go through that process?
If you start from the jump utilizing any generative AI chat as a brainstorming tool or a Socratic tutor, the brain is a muscle. You don't go to the gym once a week and say, I'm good, right? It's a routine. You must consistently work it out, and to work it out, it must be pushed past that zone of comfort.
So David Vela and Dr. Deepti Tagari, who you met last hour, both are recommending that parents and teachers embrace artificial intelligence. They say that you need to learn it so that you're aware and familiar with the do's and the don'ts, and so that you can help your child develop productive habits with AI as they continue to advance in their education. Very, very important deal right there, because again, it's one of those situations where it can be so easy to use it. And I know a lot of people are just like, we've heard this before. This is a clear reminder that AI is getting more and more advanced, and you can get away with a lot more, but they got their eye on you.
It is here to stay.
Yeah, definitely.
For better or for worse. So, anyway, very good. Okay.
Out on the roadways with RJ. What's going on, man?
All right, good stuff there, Jeff. All right, can we swing that around there as we take a look at the cube?
There
Wait
we
for
go.
it.
Hey, look,
Yes.
what's up? Hey, look at that. All right. I'm here at the traffic center. Okay, 35 right here at Eisenhower Road. This is going to be on the east and northeast side of town. Traffic is moving along there, despite some construction delays over by 35 at Space Center. 1604 Nacogdoches. A quick look there at some of our north side traffic, and we're going to kind of look at that here a little bit closer. But first of all, this one particular spot, ongoing construction taking place over here at Hildebrand and I-10. So earlier we had that incident at West Avenue that was on the westbound lanes. This is going to be our eastbound lanes, and you see Jefferson High School right here. Obviously, the high school going to be starting out a little bit later. The Jefferson, the Mighty Mustangs, y'all. Not just the Mustangs. They're the Mighty Mustangs. All right, Jeff representing for SAISD. 151 right here. Alex mentioned earlier that we do have construction basically between this stretch of 410 and 90, a little bit past the Pin Road area as you get towards 90. This is going to be our eastbound traffic making its way along 151 for all of our folks on the west side of town. Everything else is looking pretty good across the city of San Antonio. Starting to see a little bit of buildup here for our drivers on 90 eastbound, headed in from the Castroville area. But again, everything looking pretty solid as we get set for back to school for a couple of our local school districts. All right, let's go to the one and only Justin Horn, a student above the grade level, whatever you want to call him. Go, Justin.
Am I? I am old, that's for sure. Okay, so if you're headed back to school today, just know the heat is still very much going to be a problem. Yesterday, we got up to 101, which was another day above 100. That's our 12th day this year. And, you know, as I've been saying, we're doing okay. We're below the average, nowhere near where we've been last 3 years. But it was a rough day yesterday with that heat. Thankfully, some of us did get some rain, and I think we'll see a similar setup today. This is around 2 o'clock. Showers and some downpours will start in the hill country and then work their way south, a lot like yesterday. 30% chance of rain here in San Antonio between 2 and 8 p.m. That's still our window, and 98 will be your high temperature. And this model does show by 6 o'clock this activity advancing a little closer to San Antonio. So do keep in mind this could affect the evening commute. Didn't have a whole lot of effects yesterday. And this particular computer model does want to keep some rain around even through 10 o'clock. We shall see. I think once the sun goes down, a lot of this tends to die down. 82 at 9 a.m. We're already off to that warm start. 91 at noontime, 96 at 2 o'clock, and then high temperature right around 98 with those pop-up downpours, that 30% chance of rain during that time frame. All right, now down to the Caribbean. You see this little swirl right here? You know, it looks decent, and we've got some thunderstorm activity, or we did. This is starting to cross over land, which, as you know, will keep development from occurring. But as this moves back out into the Gulf a little bit later today into tomorrow, there could be some development. The reason why the Hurricane Center has this pretty low at 20%, it just doesn't have a whole lot of real estate. At the clip that it's moving, it will be on shore, we think, by Friday. So there's just not a lot of time for this to develop. But in theory, it could get a name. But either way, I don't think it's going to be a big impact on Texas, other than we get maybe some rain from it. This is a look at the moisture content in the atmosphere. The brighter the green, the more moisture. And tropical moisture, of course, is always, you know, it's just thick air. And that will work its way into South Texas Friday and then up towards San Antonio by Saturday. So for that reason, I've raised rain chances a little bit on Saturday to 40%. I think we can see some scattered tropical downpours. But this is not something that's going to stick around or we have to worry about really heavy rain. That's the good news. It's just kind of a one-day thing. 40% chance there on Saturday, and then we see some dry days before rain returns middle part of next week. Temperatures still hot. 100 tomorrow, 98 Friday, 97 Saturday with that chance of rain, and then back to 100 Sunday and Monday. Okay, our Just Ask Justin question has to do with the tropics, and my question to you is, the World Meteorological Organization names hurricanes in the Atlantic. That's who gets to come up with all these names that you hear, like Aaron, that we have out there right now. My question is, where is this place? Is it in Bermuda, New York City, Paris, or Geneva. Some random spots there, but it is the home. One of those is the home to the World Meteorological Organization. You can vote ksat.com/poll, scan the QR code. Geneva leads the way right now. We'll get you that answer here in about 30 minutes, and we'll be right back.
In this morning's GMA First Look, armored truck robbery.
Road, H Mart. This truck was robbed.
Dramatic surveillance video capturing two armed thieves robbing an armored truck in Pennsylvania, making away with hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash.
They ordered the driver to turn over their firearm and then proceeded to rob them of a large quantity of U.S. currency. The suspects approached, committed the robbery, and fled, all in the course of 15 to 20 seconds.
Police say they believe the suspects are tied to other robberies in the area, but those suspects still on the run.
The way the robbery was committed was very similar to the other robberies that we're aware of, all of which have a very similar MO, with 2, sometimes 3 subjects approaching an armored car. So we're investigating this as possibly being related.
And we'll have much more on this armored truck robbery coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm Janae Norman, ABC News, New York.
626 right now, 81 degrees outside.
Still ahead, we're talking to city council members from all over town. First up, District 10's Mark White on the mayor's strategic pause in funding talks for the massive downtown project Marvel.
And we got KSAT released new records and video from the Uvalde shooting. What families are saying after years of waiting. Stick with us for the full story.
Live from KSAT 12, Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
6:30 on this hump day, giving you everything that you need to know, from your headlines to your weather to your traffic. On this back to school Wednesday.
Back to school, yeah, for another round of kiddos. So all the best to you guys who are starting today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I went for a run yesterday right as the outflow boundary and some of those thunderstorms were coming in.
Yeah.
Felt so much better, which is wild because we got up to 101 yesterday.
Okay.
But the storms helped us a little bit during the late afternoon hours. And my hope is that will be the case again today. And we'll get something like this. This is a picture sent in by Steve yesterday from I-35 in New Braunfels looking north. And you can see some of those storms that just try to bubble up. It was pretty scenic kind of watching it all unfold because we had blue skies here in San Antonio, but as you look north, you saw some of those mushroom clouds, those storms that, blow up and then they anvil out at the top, and we should see some more of this activity again today with about a 30% chance of rain this afternoon. 98 is where we end up, so it's going to be another really hot day. Heat index values most certainly over 100, but hopefully, like yesterday, some folks will get some much needed rain here around San Antonio. By the way, the heat index is going to climb up over 100. As I said, 102 probably is where it peaks, but some places could be as high as 103, 104, maybe even 107 there in Carrizo Springs. So that is starting to trend into some dangerous heat. We've got some rain chances not only today, but also this weekend, because as we showed you last half hour, some tropical moisture will try to work in here. We'll get you another look at that forecast coming up. But you got to get out the door. Don't be late to school and work. Not to put any pressure on you. RJ, what you got?
Oh, definitely not. Yes. And if you are driving along I-10 right here at Hildebrand, we do have that ongoing construction. Take a look here. 35 at 90 for all of our folks that are south of downtown. Headed back to Burbank. We'll show you the latest situation there. And then 35 at Tupperwine. Traffic looking pretty good. And same situation right here, east side of town. Again, good morning to all of our folks out there. Welcome back to school to many of our districts, Alamo Heights, Judson, and also SAISD. But take a look at this. We do have some pretty significant backup right here. This is going to be I-10 headed into the downtown area right here at Fresno Street, and we are seeing a pretty good amount of cars sort of delayed there on the northwest side of town, the near northwest side of town. 151 still seeing this backup over here due to ongoing construction on the eastbound lanes as you get towards 90. So we'll keep that one in mind as well. And we mentioned the downtown area. Still have this construction in place. This is going to be our northbound traffic headed into downtown, and Burbank High School is going to be right there. So if you're headed out later on this morning to Burbank, the home of the Bulldogs, just keep that one in mind as we continue that ongoing bridge joint work in that one entire area. Let's go to Alex right now, Drive Cam, and see how things are looking on the ground. Alex, what's up?
Yeah, good morning, RJ. Well, right now I just passed through Converse. I'm checking out the commute for JISD and the Judson Rockets. Right now, 1604 has been looking very smooth as soon as I left I-10. So no accidents over here. Just watch out for those stoplights this morning, RJ.
Okay, thank you very much, Alex, for that update out there for our folks in Converse. Guys.
6:33 now. New details this morning as KSAT is digging into some records from Uvalde County about that deadly Robb Elementary shooting. The records include hours of video showing the shooter's steps before he entered the school and the tragic events inside. To be transparent, we're showing these records as we receive them, and they're available at our website at ksat.com. But the families of the victims speaking out right now after the release. Brett Cross, who's the guardian of Uzziah Garcia, he posted on X saying in part, quote, "About time. You don't lawyer up for 3 years to protect transparency," end quote. Vincent Salazar came in. That's the father of Layla Salazar. Posted on Facebook saying in part, quote, "I feel it's necessary to respond to those who say that we need to move on. If you're saying that, then you didn't lose a child that day."
You know, on other headlines, one of the first lawsuits linked to a death from the Hill Country floods has been filed. A family is suing a campground. This comes after 23-year-old Bailey Martin and his 22-year-old fiancee Jada Floyd died when their RV was swept away at the HTR Texas Hill Country Resort. The lawsuit, filed in Kerr County, targets the campground, its investors Blue Water Development, and the resort's general manager. It claims the campground ignored 11 flash flood warnings, failed to provide safe escape routes, and did not train staff for emergencies. The family is seeking more than $1 million in temporary relief. The campground has not responded to requests for comment.
And staying in the Hill Country this morning, it's expected to be an emotional back to school today for Kerrville ISD, obviously after those devastating floods across that entire area. The district is welcoming back 4,600 students after a summer of loss and heartbreak. And despite everything, the community is standing strong. I sat down with Superintendent Dr. Brett Ringo before the start of class today. He said teachers and staff are ready to reconnect and welcome those students back into class and ready for a bit of normalcy. Ringo said that in an effort to help every family out, all students got free backpacks and their full school supplies for the entire year. There will also be therapy dogs on every campus today and crisis counselors available throughout the year. I asked him about any changes to safety measures, though, after July 4th.
It does allow us to have those discussions even more and coordinate even more about flood alerts because our buses do cross those, and we're always very cautious when that happens. And so as we go to 25-26, we will continue to evaluate our safety plan and always make adjustments. We want students to know, hey, as you come back to school, everything's taken care of, and take that burden off the families.
All right, now Dr. Ringo also told me that fortunately the district did not have any damage to any of their buildings or buses during the flooding incident. In fact, they actually used their staff and transportation vehicles to help evacuate hundreds of kids from campsites, including Camp La Junta and Camp Mystic on July 4th. And again, they start class in about an hour or so. Guys, back to you.
All right, staying in the back to school theme, you're going to wake up and shine, our San Antonio ISD students and the teachers, because today is your first day back.
Yep, it's their turn. More than 47,000 students will be welcomed at over 90 schools across the city. Our Patty Santos is live this morning in Lanier High School, just west of downtown. And it is, Patty, a first for a lot of people, including the new teachers there. Good morning.
Hey there, good morning. At 8:45 this morning, about 28 kids are going to be in their classroom here. This is a 9th grade English class. And if you remember when you were in high school, it was very nerve-wracking, but also nerve-wracking is for the new teachers. This is Brianna Cordaway, who is joining us this morning here. You are a proud product of SAISD, and you decided to come back to this district. Tell me about your first day. How are you feeling?
I'm excited. I'm ready to get started and ready to meet the students.
Okay, and so you were telling me you went to Burbank, you got some pictures in the background here of some of your family that went to Burbank as well. Yeah. What does it mean for you to be a part of this legacy here at SAISD?
Honestly, I feel so honored to be able to come back to the district and really give back to the community that helped me so much and get me to where I am today. And I'm just so proud to keep carrying on that legacy.
Okay, and I think she's gonna be one of the fun teachers, the English teacher. If you take a look at her classroom, it is perfect. Everything's coordinated. You like to call it chaos, coordinated chaos?
Organized chaos.
What are you most forward looking to this year? Like, is there a subject that you want to touch on? I know the first day is always just, let's get going.
Yes, honestly, what I'm looking forward to is teaching them about plays. That's gonna be the most fun fun part. They're going to learn about drama. They're going to be thrown into the story, and I hope I can make it come alive for them.
Well, Ms. Cordaway, congratulations on your first day. We hope to follow up with you on the very last day to see how things went. I cannot wait. But reporting this morning from Lanier, we'll send it back to you guys.
Very good. Well, listen, we're wishing all of them the best there on their very first day of school, especially those new teachers. This morning, meanwhile, we are connecting with the council. So I'm trying to go out to each of the 10 city council districts to talk candidly with the council members representing all sides of town. So my first stop was Morgan's Wonderland in District 10, where I asked council member Mark White about the mayor's call this week for a strategic pause on negotiations for a funding deal with the Spurs as it relates to the $1 billion downtown revitalization known as Project Marvel.
Yeah, it seems like the mayor doesn't like the economic impact analysis report that the city has already received. She wants us to go and get another one. And listen, I'm all for making sure that the numbers are accurate. I just believe what we've been given thus far is sufficient. It's good. I've gone through that analysis. The majority of my colleagues have gone through that analysis and agree that we've been given what we need. City staff, who has very, very smart people on the financial level, has looked at it and says this is a project that makes sense. We've got to keep our San Antonio Spurs right here in San Antonio where they belong. And so we're comfortable that we have enough information to move forward on this term sheet. Again, so that the citizens can know the deal when they go to make their decision in November.
So that's just a small, very small portion of our entire conversation. You can catch more of it later this morning on GMSA Plus, or you can go online to KSAT.com.
Meanwhile, San Antonio Mayor Gina Ortiz-Jones has called for a pause to the Project Marvel, which is the proposed downtown sports and entertainment district. But she wants independent economic analysis on the project before the city can move forward with plans to pay for some of it. She explained her reasoning yesterday during a KSAT Q&A, and you can watch that conversation right now at KSAT.com.
All right, outside with live cam, it is 6:40, 81 degrees, still pretty warm out there. We got some cloud cover this morning, sun's starting to come up and traffic picking up, as RJ will tell you here in just a little bit. Tropical storm Aaron still out there, winds at 45 miles per hour, and that's not the only thing we're watching in the tropics. An update is headed your way.
All right, time to get hungry, because coming up are $20 dinners with David. Fire up the grills, because David's showing us how to turn less than $20 into smoky, sizzling grilled beef skewers and cold roasted potatoes, all loaded with mouth-watering sauces. You won't believe how easy and affordable this backyard feast can be.
Who's hungry? It's 6:44 now, and if you've gone out to eat lately, you know it can cost you a small fortune to feed a family of 4 or more. Sometimes the bill can be $50 or higher, depending on where you go.
Yeah, even the fast food can get expensive if you're not careful. But this morning, get this, David Elder has your back. Has some ingredients for the restaurant quality dinner that you can make in your own kitchen for less than $20.
Get these beef skewers ready for the grill. You first want to get your steak, cut it into cubes, put it into a Ziploc bag. Use seasonings of your choice. I'm using some chimichurri seasoning, that's Alfregoni, some teriyaki marinade, and some low sodium soy sauce. A little bit of oil in there. Slap the bag, put it in the refrigerator, and while that's in the refrigerator, you want to prep your potatoes. So you want to get the grill going, make sure it's nice and hot, and then you want to clean your potatoes, oil them, season the outside, wrap them in some foil, and then you also want to soak your bamboo skewers. Put those potatoes right next to the coals and have those hang out. Now, red onions, you want to make sure you're getting big chunks, green bell pepper as well, and you want to set those off to the side. And once your skewers have soaked for about 30 minutes, you want to start layering up your skewers. You try to go beef, bell pepper, onion, and do that as many times as you can. I actually got about 10 skewers off this thing, and then right onto the grill. I'm using a little grill cover as well right there, so it's not touching the fire directly, and it's catching all my veggies. These cooked for a little while. I make sure I just got it right over medium. Open up my baked potato after an hour. Look how beautiful that is on the inside. 2 tablespoons of butter, those skewers, and then sauce it how you want it. I'll put some more teriyaki on top, a little sriracha mayo, and some sriracha. These things were absolutely delicious. Don't forget to scan the QR code on the screen for the full recipe.
looks pretty tasty.
How he
He makes everything look good.
I don't know how he doesn't. And then $20 too. That is difficult to do sometimes.
Oh, yeah. Let's get over on the roadways right now. RJ, again, we got more people waking up to get back to school.
Yes, absolutely. And yeah, absolutely. David is a magician right
he
there
is.
in the
Yes,
kitchen.
he is.
So let's take a look here. 35 Shirts Parkway. So again, Shirts, Cibolo, UC, ISD, y'all are still in the clear for today. But tomorrow, back to school for that part of the northeast side of town, the far northeast side of town, if you will. Let's give you an idea of things closer to downtown, because not only do we have an incident stalled vehicle there on the eastbound lanes of 10 at Fresno, but we also have ongoing construction right here by Hildebrand. So I'm surprised that this is taking the amount of time it's taking. And again, it is the first day of school for all of our SAISD folks. This is a situation a little bit south of downtown as you get up towards Alamo and South Laredo Street, headed into parts of, I guess if you want to call it Burbank High School. And still dealing with this delay right here, 151. There's going to be our situation right before you get to 90, coming off of parts of 410 here as well. So we mentioned earlier, Judson ISD, we have got you ready to go. Start of school, so a couple of schools right here. Judson High School, obviously things are going to be busy along 1604 FM 78 and Rocket Lane, which has been under construction for a long time. Further down the road here, Wagner High School, we're going to see a lot of traffic later on by Foster Road and parts of I-10 as well. Of course, Wagner High School, named after the military hero Karen Wagner. Let's take you out to Veterans Memorial. I did not forget about y'all because Judson ISD is kind of split up in a weird way, but obviously we're going to get a lot of traffic, specifically right here on Evans Road and parts of FM 2252. This is right in between basically 35 and 1604 on the north to northeast sides of town. So welcome back to all of our folks there, Judson ISD. We appreciate you guys watching us on Good Morning San Antonio. Let's go to Justin for a check of how things are going to look out there. The bus stop traffic. How's it going, Jay Horn?
Did you color code those boxes to apply to the school? Well done. Well done. I like that. Okay, tropical storm Aaron. We're going to start in the tropics. Tropical storm Aaron still going. It's starting to intensify a little bit. It's looking better and better. Winds right now at 45 miles per hour, so it's still a tropical storm. But it is moving into an area where winds are correct to allow this to develop, and waters are plenty warm. So as this moves west at 20 miles per hour, this is going to become a hurricane probably by the end of the week. And then as we get into the weekend, that's where things really start to ramp up. Probably a major hurricane by early Sunday morning. Now, the bit of good news here is you see the forecast track, and it now excludes the Virgin Islands and really any islands for that matter, north of Puerto Rico. So this could just be a storm that affects the open ocean. The only place that I would say needs to watch it is Bermuda, as this thing kind of curves back to the north and east. It could clip Bermuda. So that'll be, next week. But otherwise, it's not expected to affect land. Now, in the Caribbean, we talked about this earlier, a little swirl right there. That is a tropical wave that's moving over the Yucatan today. It will reemerge into the Gulf later tonight going into tomorrow. There is a chance this could develop. It's a small chance, and the reason for that is it's moving fast enough to where it just doesn't have a lot of time over the Gulf to develop. But we know the waters are really warm, and sometimes these systems that get in the Gulf can be kind of sneaky because the Gulf you see such rapid intensification. Either way, 20% chance of this developing. And I think for our purposes, we're not too worried about whether it develops or not. I mean, what kind of form it's in. Bottom line is it's going to bring us some tropical moisture. And that will start in South Texas Friday, midday, and then that tropical moisture will spread north as we get into Saturday. Now, this thing keeps moving, and the good news, it doesn't stall. We're not really worried about a ton of heavy rain here, but I think that it will bring us some slightly better rain chances on Saturday, and that's what we're watching. So 30% chance of downpours today, 20% chance Friday, Saturday, then we bump it up to 40% chance Saturday. And some more chances next week, by the way. Outside right now, sun is almost up here, 81 degrees at the airport, 77 New Braunfels, 81 Converse. So we likely do not fall below that 80-degree mark this morning, which is pretty impressive. 91 noontime, 94 at 1 o'clock. We have a heat index at that point at 102. And then we start to bring the rain chances up to 30%. So it'll look a lot like yesterday with those afternoon pop-up downpours. 98 is our high. Heat index stays above 100 for several hours today. And then tomorrow will be awful hot, 100. 98 Friday, 97 Saturday. We drag the temperature down a little bit with that 40% chance rain. and then more triple digits coming up Sunday and Monday. Speaking of the tropics, that's the topic of our Just Ask Justin question this morning. And my question that I posed was the World Meteorological Organization, which names storms in the Atlantic. Where is it? Did you know that they were the ones that named storms? Is it located in Bermuda, New York City, Paris, or Geneva? Votes are in. Geneva is the overwhelming winner here. You guys are going to go with the audience, aren't you?
Yeah, I sure
Geneva
am.
feels right. Yeah.
It's just something in my heart, you know.
This is one of those more obscure questions. But yes, it is indeed Geneva, Switzerland, because this is part of the UN, so the World Meteorological Organization, part of the United Nations. And it's a group of meteorologists that basically is in charge of sharing weather information across the world. But it was established in 1950. It's made up of 193 countries who share weather data and research, and they also come up with the naming of the storms. Committees create and maintain lists that they alternate every 6 years, and they also alternate between male and female names. Did you know that? And they also like to take in, Spanish, French, and English. They mix it up.
Are they the ones that retire storms like Katrina and Harvey, and they retire them?
They do. If a storm is destructive enough, they will retire it. Yeah.
All right, Justin, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, 6:52 right now, 81 degrees outside.
So if you started school this week, many parents know the struggle of waiting in a car line to drop off their students and to pick their students back up. Next on GMSA, plus how the City of San Antonio's Transportation Department is working on getting a program in place to make it safer for more kids to walk or bike to school with their parents.
All right, 6:56. Let's get you out the door with your traffic authority. And our biggest delay, one of them at the moment, is going to be right here. This is going to be our eastbound traffic on I-10 right there at Fresno Street. We know we have SAISD folks headed back to school today. That's going to be over by the Jefferson High School area. And 10 and Hildebrand, still ongoing construction causing some major backups there. GMSA Plus will be back with all the latest news, traffic, and weather. Stay with us.